people like do this without other people's help. What am I doing? This is so hard. So someone wanted to see how I film my thumbnails. I guess this is it. Not. I don't know how this works. Hi guys, it's Teresa. Welcome back to my channel. It is currently like 10:30 p.m. and of course this is the time I decide to film a haul. I've had this entire day and I just like didn't want to do it. So now I'm doing it now. I have so many books to haul today. It is absolutely crazy. Over the last few weeks and even still now, like every few days, I will just like, or if I'm bored, I'll just like order something from Amazon. A book, always. Like I'll just order a book from Amazon. And usually I get them from the marketplace, so they're reduced price, but then I feel like because it's gonna take a while for them to get there, I have to order them immediately because I'm already gonna get them like in a month or so, so why wait? And then this happens. So I've been kind of, oh, there's a moth. Ha, go away. I hate them, they eat my clothes. I guess because it's so many books, I've been kind of nervous to sit down and actually film it, and I've just been like pushing it, and now I've already had to start a second pile for my next haul. And I'm just like, I need to film this now. I put them next to my bed, they've been there for 3 days, it's time. It is time to actually film this. So, oh my god. I'm so sorry for these like overly long videos recently, like, well, let's get started anyway. So first, let's talk about a few books that I've already read. Two of them were in my last wrap-up, so I'll just quickly show them to you. The first is The Girls by Emma Cline. I talked about it in my wrap-up, and also I filmed a review that'll be going up very soon, so I won't mention it any further, but this was very popular last year, and I wanted to own it and read it, and I really like this cover, by the way. I think it's cool. But more thoughts on this coming soon. And the second book that was also in my wrap-up is Nail-Biter Volume 6 by Williamson, Henderson, Gazowski, and Hill. Talked about it there a little bit. This is the ending of the series. I really like this graphic novel series. Definitely recommend it if you're looking for something new to get into. But it is very graphic and very adult, so be warned. The next I've also already read, and this is Lucy by Jamaica Kincaid. It's about a 19-year-old girl from Antigua, and she comes to the United States, I don't actually know where, to work as an au pair for a family, and this moth literally just flew by the lens, if you saw it. And this is basically her coming of age story and her finding her sexuality. I didn't really agree with that, honestly, in a way, and I thought Lucy was very much an unlikable main character. But I will be talking about this more in my June wrap-up, obviously, which, you know, you're gonna have to wait a little while. But if you're interested on my thoughts on this before then, go check out my Goodreads review because I wrote it in a pretty detailed way, but yeah. That's that. The next two books I'm actually currently loaning from the library, and the first one is Barfuß durch Hiroshima by Kenji. Is it Kenji or Keiji? Keiji Nakazawa. And this is, I'm not sure what this is called in English, but the literal translation would be Barefoot Through Hiroshima. And it is, as you can see, a graphic novel in a way, and it's a really, really old one. I think this was published in the 70s or something, and it is basically so heartbreaking. It is a story of the main character who, when the bombs fell on Hiroshima, he was 7 years old, and this is his real life story, basically his sort of memoir as a graphic novel, and it is just so hard to read. I started this yesterday and I thought, oh, it's a graphic novel, I can fly through this, but I can't read this for more than like half an hour at a time, I believe, because it's just like so hard. It is heart fucking breaking, I tell you. I mean, that's, you're getting cocky. Killed it. Ew. I used my new book to kill it, but it's dead. It wasn't even a moth. Ew, this isn't a moth, this is some... Ew, it's something else, it's gross, I don't even want to look at it. The translation for this book into German was made, I think, in the 80s sometime, so at first I was really kind of off-put by the language, because it's obviously kind of old German and just like so weird, and I found it even funny at times, but kind of that sentiment got lost very quickly, because this is really tough to read, but I am enjoying it, and I think it's very, very important to read about this sort of thing. The next one I'm also currently reading, and this is The Waterman by Patrick Easter. I randomly saw this in a store and just picked it up because The cover I find so attractive. I love this color. It is probably, yeah, definitely my favorite color in the whole world. It is gorgeous. Why can't the whole world be this color? I would just, oh my god, it would be amazing. This is adult historical fiction and it's set in 1798, I believe, at the port of London, and it's about two men. One is a villain and he kind of rules the underworld in London, or at the Thames at the very least, and the other is this former ship captain who was responsible for him getting punished for something he did, and the two cross paths again like 3 years after this whole thing happened, and then they also like fall in love with the same woman or something like that, and it's kind of like about their differences and about that whole situation unraveling. And it's quite interesting because it is set in such a like different scene than what I'm used to reading about, which is like marine ship scene, and I'm kind of getting Pirates of the Caribbean vibes from this, even though it's completely different. And I am finding it quite interesting. I think the writing style is amazing, but the story is like a little slow moving, and it does this thing where characters just guess plot points like based on no clues whatsoever, just because it suits the story, which if you've watched my bookish pet peeves, you know that that's something I like really can't do. So we'll see what I think about this. I thought filming this at night I wouldn't get so hot, but I think the light is an issue here. The next book I got is The Handmaid's Tale by Margaret Atwood. This is kind of like, I think, a classic. Is it considered a classic, or is it just like an actual classic? I don't know. This is like one of the very first, I think, or the first dystopian book ever, and I've heard like really good things about it. I've heard it being said that it's very creepy and just like disturbing, and I'm excited to jump into this. I also really like this cover, even though the size of this book is, again, I don't know, just like too small. I don't like books this small. It needs to be at least bigger than my head, okay? That's what she said. Next, I have a book that's been popping up all over BookTube recently because it is, what is it? Has it won? No, it's longlisted for the Bailey's Women's Prize for fiction for this year. And that is Stay With Me by Ayobami Adebayo. It sounds so interesting. I am so excited to read this. And also, can we just say that like the cover is just adorable. It's so good looking. I love it. So basically this book is set in Nigeria, and it follows this couple, and I think the woman is barren or something, so her in-laws suggest to her husband that he should find another wife so he can have children, and she sounds like so weird and like terrible, and I'm excited to read this. If you've been noticing a theme in my reading recently and you think it's Japan, then yes, it is Japan, and also non-fiction Japan. I don't know, like obviously, because it's my major, I have to be reading that stuff. Well, I don't have to, but like, it makes sense that I'm reading that stuff. So the next book I have been wanting to buy for a long time, and I just like never did for some reason. So now I just did it. And this is Tokyo Vice by Jake Adelstein. I've honestly been aware of this book for years, and I just never thought to look for it on Amazon. I don't know why. Basically, this is about an American journalist, and he now lives in Japan, and I think there was a period of time where he was being pursued, like, or persecuted by like a Yakuza boss because he was reporting on them or something like that, so he had to flee the country, but now he's back, and I follow him on Instagram, so, and he follows me back, so if he sees this video for some reason, hi. I don't know if he will. But basically, this is just his exploration of the crime underworld of Tokyo, and I'm super excited to read this. Next, I have Kindred by Octavia E. Butler. This is another kind of famous older-ish dystopian that has just like somehow not been on my screen until now. I just like randomly saw it in a video and I was like, that sounds so interesting, I need to pick this up. The main character is a black woman who is spontaneously, periodically transported back to the 19th century and has to kind of relive what life was like, or like experience what life was like for black people at the time. It sounds really, really good. Her other books are also available in this edition. I am dying. If I like this one, I'll probably buy like all of her books because they look gorgeous. The next two books I have to give special shout out to because they were the casualties of my, sorry to say, idiot postman, because I was gone for a week and I had ordered books and I didn't know how many were gonna come, but usually, you know, they leave like a slip and then I go and pick it up. They tried to cram a total of 8 fucking books into my mailbox while I was gone. It was just the worst. So 2 of them unfortunately were damaged by it. One of them is a second-hand copy, so it's hard to say it to what degree it was like worsened by that little stint crammed into a tiny freaking mailbox. But the like packaging of it was creased the same way that the cover now is, so you know, I'm pretty sure it was caused by that. So anyway, the first one is a Bird Box by Josh Mallam, and this is the one I was talking about. I tried putting them both on like heavy box and kept them there for like a week, so now it's a little bit better, but I don't know, you can probably not see it on camera, but like right here, technically there's a crease, and I'm just like pissed that this happened at all, because honestly, oh, and also the inside pages you can still see, because it's like literally all the way to here, so literally, dude, don't be fucking lazy. If I'm not home, you take it back with you. I'm sorry, that's your job, I can't help it. But anyway, this is, I believe, a thriller about a world where, like, as far as I know, it's like whenever there's like this monster around, and whenever you see it, you die. So it's about a blind woman or something who is like making her way through the world. It sounds fucking terrifying. I'm just like already so fucking scared, and it kind of reminds me of just like the premise, like a little bit of Hush Hush, which is the worst horror movie that I watched recently. It was so terrible, but I hope this is better than that, so you know. Oh, and also, no, that one's about a deaf woman. So the second book that was damaged, I'm even sadder about, because this was a new copy, and it's so gorgeous. But now the back is creased. This is Assassin's Apprentice by Robin Hobb. A new book in this series just came out, and I looked at this author and I was like, she has published like 1,000,000 books and I've still not read any of them. How is this even possible? She has such great reviews, and I needed to start. So I'm starting with the very first one, and I'm not sure when this was published. Let me see. 1995, so this is almost as old as I am. You know. Hello. But anyway, basically this has as you can see, this has a crease in the back, and I'm just really pissed. I'm really pissed. I haven't met my mailman since then, but when I do, I'll definitely complain to him, because that's not okay. Next is Annihilation by Jeff Vandermeer. I am extremely excited to jump into this. This is actually a trilogy. It's about an expedition into a place called Area X, and it's about a group of 4 scientists that are trying to figure out something. I'm not sure. But then apparently creepy, weird, bad things start to happen, and I've heard so many good things about this. I'm really excited to jump into this. Like, I haven't done so yet because I know that it's a trilogy, and I'm pretty much sure, like, once I finish this and like it, I'm gonna need to buy the second and third one immediately. So that's why I'm like, just calm your horses. You're already buying enough other books. Like, just chill for a second. Next is probably the gorgeousest, not a word, the most gorgeous cover ever, and this is The Essex Serpent by Sarah Perry. If you have noticed another theme in this haul, it's that, yes, I've been watching so many 2016 favorites videos recently, which, you know, is totally normal thing to do in May. Yeah. This was mentioned in so many videos, and I've heard so many great things about it. I'm really excited. It's like a historical fiction book. It's set in late 1800s London and follows this woman on her son. She moves to Essex, and there's supposedly this like legend of this Essex serpent, a like monster going around, but she's convinced it's just like another species that's not been discovered yet, so she goes on the hunt for it, and this cover is just the most beautiful thing I've ever beheld, and I just love it so much. I hope that I enjoy this book as well, and I'm really excited to start reading this. Then I have another secondhand copy. This is Black Eyed Susans by Julia Haberlin. I'm not sure whose channel I saw this on, and it still has like a sticker. Yes, it do. I know how to take it off now, but I still haven't done it yet. I don't know why. This is a thriller about a girl called Tessa, and when she was young, apparently she was left in a grave, which is creepy enough, but it's a grave like filled with black-eyed Susans, and the other girls died and she didn't, and now she is a grown-up and she thinks that the person who did it is behind bars, but someone plants like these black-eyed Susans in front of her window, and there are claims that the man being put into prison is actually innocent, and so like stuff starts to come back from a past. It sounds insanely creepy and really interesting, so I'm excited to read this one. Then I have another modern classic, I believe, and this is The Princess Bride by William Goldman. So many fucking people talk about this book, especially the movie. Like, this is just the holy grail to some people, and honestly, I'd never heard of this book before BookTube at all, and I just find the premise really interesting, and I heard it's quite funny too, and like really good, so I want to give it a go. This is another secondhand copy, and it has like some spine creasing and stuff going on, but honestly, because it's black, I believe you can barely see it, so yeah. Definitely recommend checking out the Amazon Marketplace for like bargain books, because pretty awesome. Then I have one of the very few YA books in this entire haul, because I'm kind of trying to like stock up on adult books recently, because I've just like been wanting to read more. But this is Arabella of Mars by David de Levine. This has been in some like books I want videos that I've done previously, because it does one of my favorite tropes, which is gender bending. Someone has educated me on that. And basically a woman pretending to be a man. It's also like got steampunk elements to it, and it's set on Mars, and it just sounds really cool, and I'm excited to jump into this. The second to last book is kind of funny, because as I said, I ordered a lot of these books on Marketplace, and I wanted to buy The Black Prism by Brent Weeks. I ordered this book at the beginning of April, and it's been 2 months, and it's still not here. Instead, 2 weeks ago, they sent me this book. This is The Randomest of Random, Around the World in 20 Days, the story of our history-making balloon flight by Bertrand Piccard and Brian Jones. Yes, you're right. Why would I want The Black Prism if I could have this book instead? What was I thinking? Honestly, this is just like a non-fiction account of their balloon journey, and I'm just, it's so, this, they made like, they put pictures in, and this is like my favorite. It's everything. Yeah, they made a mistake, sent me the wrong book. I contacted them and they told me that they had sent me the actual book with expedited shipping, but that was also like, as I said, 2 weeks ago, and it's still not here, so I don't know. Maybe it got lost again, maybe they're gonna send me another one, but I genuinely don't know what to do with this one. When am I ever gonna be interested in a balloon flight around the world? And the final book for this haul, yes, you better get ready. There's another one coming very soon. But the last one I have to show you today is Thieves' Magic by Trudy Canavan. This is the first book in her newest trilogy. I think it's also been out for a few years now. 2014. It came out 2014. And this is also a used copy, but it's in very good condition, except for the pages are a little dirty, but I don't care. Basically, I don't know much about this, but I have really enjoyed a lot of Trudy Canavan's books. I've read The Black Magicians and the follow-up trilogy, which is the Toyota Spy trilogy. I'm just checking because it says in here. Then I read the first book of The Age of 5, and also The Magician's Apprentice, which is a standalone. So I've read like most of her books, to be perfectly honest, and I enjoyed most of them, and I just like wanted to give this series a go, because it's like she's really good at like magical fantasy worlds and like magic systems and stuff like that. Like, yes, please, more of that. So it's a Norse book. Oh, okay, wait, actually, it's looking more enormous than it has to be. It's like 550 pages. That looks like 1,000. That does not look like 550. I bet you I can find a book in this pile that's longer than this, but looks shorter. Let's see. Challenge accepted. I like to disappoint people. Okay, I couldn't. You're right, I failed. I am a loser. It's still way too long, I think. Like, way too huge. But that's okay, because I like huge books. And I cannot lie. The others can't deny. And does anybody ever know the actual words of the song? Like, why? What is going on? Anyway, guys, that is it for today's book haul. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Leave a comment down below letting me know if you've read any of these books, and which one you think I should prioritize, because I have so much to read now. It's really hard to decide what to get started with first. But yes, you can also let me know if you want what the latest book that you bought was, because I'm always looking for more things to buy, obviously, because it's a problem that I have. I will see you very soon with another book haul, probably, let's be honest. Have a lovely week. Bye! Don't you hate the feeling of like mystery hair touching your skin, and then you think it's loose hair, but you can't see any. And the second book that was also in my wrap up was not Vampire, what? The next two books, I should just kill it, but like killing moths takes so long because they're so quick.